Let's talk about some of the ways that I think people overcomplicate the idea of deep work, because I think deep work has become sort of an exaggerated version of what it's supposed to be. Quick note, though, before we start, this video is sponsored by Lifehack Tribe. Stick around to the end to learn more about Tribe and how you can get started for just 1 week for $1. Now, Cal Newport's definition of deep work is that it's the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task, and it's a skill that allows you to quickly master complicated information and produce better results in less time. Personally, I'd like to modify that a little bit, although that's genius. I'd like to expand it to include Gary Keller's definition of leverage. Now, Gary Keller classifies leverage as something that you could do now to make the same task easier or unnecessary in the future. So what would you get if you combine those two together? Deep work would be uniquely valuable work that only you can do, that moves your life forward and makes everything easier or unnecessary for your future. I think people tend to overcomplicate deep work, sort of thinking about it in a maximalist way. We get in our heads thinking that deep work has got to be the biggest task on our task list, the scariest task. And it can be, for sure, but deep work can also be easy. It could be simple. It could be small. Something as simple as unsubscribing from an email can be deep work because down the line, with less emails in your inbox to process, you're really spending less time in your inbox. Now, is that the deepest of deep work? Probably not, but I would still count it. Now, maybe you're getting tripped up by how small a task might feel. Like, how could really unsubscribing from an email be propelling me forward? But think of it like this. If you did 100 of these small tasks this week, this month, would your life be better next month or next year? Hell yes. This new definition really opened deep work up for me and I think makes it way more accessible. Because if you just think about deep work as the big stuff, the painting a Picasso or composing a sonata or writing a book, it can feel very inaccessible. It feels very much like deep work is over there. And it associates deep work with just being really challenging, which creates resistance against it. But I don't think it has to be that way. I don't think it should be that way. This approach blinds us to the countless opportunities every single day that we can leverage ourselves and move ourselves forward and demonstrate our talent. Let me give you an example from my life. We have a 60-day intensive boot camp, and we have an extensive FAQ for each and every module. Why? I mean, we spent a lot of time doing this FAQ because we were being asked the same questions over and over and over again at the start of every new boot camp. So after several boot camps, I found myself, frankly, getting a bit tired of answering the same questions again and again. No fault to my clients. I just answered those questions before, and my responses started to deteriorate because I was sick of it. So I took time to build the juiciest, most helpful FAQ that I could, because not only would that be saving me time down the line, it would improve the experience of each new boot camper in the future because they could self-service and find the answers to their questions without waiting for me. Now that propelled me forward in such a massive way. Everyone had access to my best answers to the most common questions. No one was hanging around waiting online for me to respond to emails or feeling anxious about when that response would come. And it freed my time up in the live calls to answer bigger, more important, juicier, cutting edge questions. So that was the deepest of the deep work for me. Now, would building an FAQ be classified as deep work for a veterinarian? Maybe not. But for me, wow, it changed the game for my business and really freed me up to do that work that's truly revealing my talent. Now, a similar example could be creating email templates. Maybe you find yourself answering the same emails over and over and over again. God, please take 30 minutes today to write out your best response to that email and save it as a template. Taking those 30 minutes now means you never have to do it again. Think about that. Do something today so that you never have to do it again. That is tremendously valuable. Okay, I'm an example guy, so I've got one more example. When we had our first baby, I would take her in the mornings so that Carrie could sleep in. Now, every day I would walk into the kitchen with a baby in one arm looking to make coffee, but the ingredients for the coffee were spread out across the kitchen and it would take me like 25 minutes to make a cup of coffee. So one day I said, Carrie, here, take the baby for a second. And I reorganized the coffee supplies into one coffee station. And I know that sounds very much like shallow work because it was definitely very easy, small. Anybody in the world could have done that. But even though it took me less than half an hour to do, from then on, it only takes me 10 minutes each morning to make a cup of coffee with my baby in my arm. But because it drastically improved all of my mornings from then on and made every single morning easier, it saved me 15 minutes every day, 7 days a week for years, I classify it as deep work. Simple as that. Gang, when we overcomplicate deep work, when we put it on a pedestal, we miss the abundant opportunities we have to turn shallow work into deep work. And these types of deep work are way more abundant and they don't take hours and hours to complete. It really adds up over time. Folks, let's take a minute to stop and talk about today's sponsor, the Lifehack Tribe. Tribe is a monthly membership program that we created for those of you out there who are feeling overwhelmed and overworked and disorganized. Each month in Tribe, I host awesome live calls that are like in-depth productivity trainings, pre-planning sessions where we plan our weeks and month together, coaching calls, just so much more. Tribe is a support group designed to create your highest level of productivity and accountability in order to build the kind of life that nobody else gets to have. If that sounds good, we're offering our viewers a pretty sweet deal right now. If you sign up using the link below, you'll get your first month in Tribe for just $1. So if you're ready to get it together and create your freedom lifestyle, click the link in the description below. Okay, gang, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Now I want to hear from you. What is one small leverage task that you could do right now to turn your shallow work into deep work? Everybody's got one and I want to hear yours. Gang, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up if you think we've earned it. And if you're obsessed with human potential and living your best life like we are, consider subscribing to this channel and joining our journey to complete lifestyle freedom. I'll see you in the next video.